Live from
Bonjour.
across the world. It's Saturday night and it's also Sunday morning at the same time.
It is.
So
It's 10
we
o'clock.
have with us Ricefield Records. Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Zevon, votre Uncle Dan. Oui, Uncle Dan.
Hello.
L'homme disc. Coming to you live from bedrooms all over well, mine's actually my office.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I'm coming to you from my listening room here in Okayama, Japan. And it's only going to be my listening room for 6 more weeks because I'm moving to the city.
He's moving on. He's going to be gone.
Going to be gone.
He's going to be a long gone daddy.
So, Dan, got news?
Got news. You got new acquisitions? Is that
yeah, we could do that.
I don't know.
We could do that.
I got look at my fine bolo tie under there.
Very nice.
I dress for our viewership.
You'll be wearing that in court?
I respect our viewers.
Yep, me too.
You know,
yes.
Yeah, I care for our viewers. They're special to me. Some of them are very special.
Ready? Don't name names. Don't do that. Don't do that. So before I go to Tokyo, I'm gonna go to a record fair. Yay! A record fair is coming up in June 1st.
What did we have on there? That's like
it's hieroglyphics. But basically it's 10 record stores, one of which is my favorite. One of my favorite ones, Orab Record, and there are record stores from Hiroshima and Osaka nearby, and it says there's going to be 30,000 records in this department store over 4 days. And what's nice about a record fair in Osaka is Okayama is not a lot of people go. So I think I'm going to bring my camera and make a video. I don't think I'm going to do one of those virtual walkthroughs because I don't know. But I'll talk to Nick about it. Anyhow, I'm going to do that. That'll be my final au revoir video from Okayama. Maybe I'll do something else. Maybe I'll do like an empty house walkthrough of this house I'm renting. That might be interesting. Huh?
When is the move?
Move is June 29th around. It's all going to depend on when we finalize the deal on the place we're buying and do the walkthrough with the owner. We could do it a little bit earlier, but we'll pay through to the end of June.
And what is your house sold or how does that work?
We're renting it.
You're renting, okay?
Yeah, we're renting. I haven't been a renter in a long, long time, so it was new to us. But we'll get our. So you have to leave deposits. Sometimes in Japan, you have to leave as much as 6 months deposit when you rent a place. 6 months.
6 months.
2 of those months are thank you money to the owner for the privilege of renting the place from them that you don't see back. And
it's like a tip, the owner.
It's like a bribe. 2 of those months are security deposits, and the other 2 are first and last month's rent. So when you rent it, the rules have changed somewhat. They've gotten more lenient because they can't really do that to one another anymore. But it used to be 6 months up front. It was a lot of money to rent a place.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So, any records? Any new records that you've gotten, Uncle Dan?
Yeah, I've gotten quite a few.
Me too.
I've got 2 weeks worth.
Wow.
And some of them I spent actual money on.
Okay.
Some of them I didn't.
I'm going to make you big.
Okay. These aren't in any particular order.
Okay. Wait! Before you speak,
Yeah.
Miss Susan Mills has said, "My daughter's experience at 100% of the deposit is a gift for the landlord." Well, maybe how she read. I don't know, because she was here on an English teaching arrangement, but two of those months were gifts to the landlord that you don't see back. Thank you, money. But I'd love to talk to her, Susan. Okay, Dan.
Okay, first is Eddie Cleanhead Vinson, a blues saxophonist. This is Cherry Red Blues, one song that it's a song he did. A bunch of people did it. It's Rock Me Baby Till My Face Turned Cherry Red. Very fine blues saxophonist. Not as much focus in the blues world on saxophonists as there is on guitarists and harmonica players, but Eddie Cleanhead Vinson is an important blues saxophone player.
Before you put it back, can we open up the jacket? Because I don't know what the man looks like.
Well, it's not on here.
Oh, okay.
He's Eddie Cleanhead Vinson Eddie was bald or shaved. That's why they called him Cleanhead.
May we interrupt this broadcast to bring in a special announcement? We have the chewing. Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. We done been modified. It's barbecue.
The back scratching.
Yep, I might as well break it out,
Yes. Is that a golf club? No.
No,
Fly swatter?
No, it's one of these little, back
Yeah. Good to see you.
Maybe won't you scratch my back? That's a good old
Vaughn. It's a great blues standard.
Yeah.
So what's everybody up to? You guys pick up any of the new stuff that's been out?
I
haven't picked up any of the new anything that's
Aren't they releasing some Blue Note classic stuff that's supposed to be pretty cool? Like they were releasing a Miles Davis, one of his earlier Blue Note stuff. I don't know if that's out yet, but that's soon. They've released a lot of his stuff, the Kraft Records recordings with Working, Steaming, Relaxing. A lot of those they released. Yep. I was thinking about checking them out. I see them in the record stores, but $40, man,
Yep. It's stiff.
Yeah. You got to be sure on it. And if I already have a couple copies of it, a couple analog copies of it already, am I going to go get another one?
Is there Tone Poet? Are these on the Tone Poet stuff?
No, I'm talking about the Kraft Records. They're mastered by Kevin Gray, pressed at RTI. They have the original. Do you remember the OGC Classics that had that label in the 80s?
No.
Okay. What the fuck is that? But anyways, yeah, a lot of the OGC labels, a lot of the stuff like Thelonious Monk, Miles Davis, Sonny Rollins saxophone classes. That was reissued on original Jazz Classics. It was a label, and in the 80s they used all analog cuts, but in the 90s they were digitally thrown up. But anyways, they're redoing a lot of these ones. Why? I don't know, because there's freaking 80s pressings that are analog cut that are available for $20, $25. I don't understand why someone would pay $40, but hey, Kevin Gray cut $40.
It's all marketing.
Yeah. A lot of it is, and that's what's tough to get you to try to pull the trigger on some of the stuff. Like the Analog Productions, they're reissuing a lot of stuff. MoFi is drowning. Nobody's buying their stuff.
Yeah, I think people just don't know. They go into a store for the first time and they start getting back into vinyl. They see the wall graphics and the bins, and they think that's what I'm buying.
Well, but the problem is, with this, I don't know if you're seeing an inflation there, but in here we are. The vinyl, every freaking record, even digitally cut records, are around $35 to fucking $40. Everything is. Dan, you're seeing it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just
any of the. It depends on the label. It depends. But any of the hot sort of vinyl labels, they're 30 to
Yeah.
$40 minimum.
Yeah, Interscope, Sony, any of those, and I'm not even talking about the audiophile labels. I'm talking about regular labels like Music on Vinyl, Friday Music.
Hey, Dave's here. Dave's here. We'll get some more of his jokes from his Bazooka bubblegum bubblegum wrapper collection.
Bazooka bubblegum used to be the shit, man. I used to love freaking those things. And little
Yeah,
leads,
me
they'd
too.
have the comics on them and everything.
Yep.
Well, Dave will be bringing us some of those.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Quoting.
Yeah.
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 So I was at a store this week, and yes, all the stuff in the new bins was $30 to $50.
Yeah.
All the new issues.
Yeah. How are you gonna,
I'm not.
and if it's a double album, you're looking at $60 whatever dollars. And the sad thing is, which is fucking laughable, is the MFSL records still, now that they know they're digital cut in the record stores, if you want them, they still want $65 to $70 for single LPs.
Right.
Who?
Two administrators.
No, but who the frick would buy that? Someone that would need a brain transplant obviously might buy it, but it's just.
Well, I mean, we are buying vinyl records, and so maybe we all need those brain transplants.
Well, no, not necessarily, because I mean, a lot of us have been buying vinyl records for a long time, and there's some that are just getting into it and they love it. But
yeah,
I mean, if you're looking for a record that you don't have and you enjoy and you have a good turntable setup, why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you care about sound quality, if you don't, then whatever. I mean, it's freaking America. You can do whatever the hell you want, right?
I was on Twitter, and somebody I follow a bunch of Bob Dylan fans on Twitter,
Yeah.
And somebody had on put on a cut of a Dylan song, and I forget which one it was. It was off that the album Dylan, which was when he switched away from Columbia for a time, and they put out an album of basically outtakes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were playing it on a suitcase player, and I just was like, man, why are you playing your good stuff on a suitcase player? But I've been playing that old console stereo I bought. I'm not playing anything nice on it, but I've been using that old console stereo I bought. It's got a 6 gram, it tracks, it's a ceramic cartridge. It tracks at 6 grams. So
if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But the reason why I say, the people that would spend $75 like on a MoFi need brain transplants is because there are similar albums that are digitally cut, just like them, for $40 cheaper. You know what I mean?
You can't hear the difference. You cannot hear the difference.
If it's cut from the same digital file that they're cutting from, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, and you can get the same exact title, same record. Why not?
Yeah. Well, speaking of things from the 1950s and 1960s, how about the 1960s?
Okay, what you get?
Oh my God, I want that freaking record, man.
That's in shrink, right?
This is,
That's new old stock that you found.
Well, it was open, so it has.
Can I see the label? Is that a shaded dog?
Not shaded dog, no. It is a.
I want to see the year. Okay, all right. Yep. Okay, that's 60s, late 60s, probably late 50s, early 60s.
It's early 60s. Yeah, about 64, I think. Not a ton of spindle rash on it. So pretty good shape.
Yeah, that does look like
the end of the world. I want to do a comparison or discussion about four great versions of The End of the World, which was
my favorite.
Written for Skeeter Davis, and she made a ton of money off that, and the label did, RCA did too, but they made a ton of money off of it. Yeah, this is 63. great sounding. I mean, RCA was putting out great records at that time, so it sounds great. I mean, the production is great on it. So yeah, I got this off Discogs, but at one point it was 99 cents at
Wow.
Goodwill. Sadly, I did not pay 99 cents for it.
Thank God, though, it's in the shrink, so you can rip that sticker off without killing any of the.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes those stickers will ruin the jacket.
Yeah. Well, like like this, Santo and Johnny.
Right. Yeah. You should try a hair dryer on it,
Or what's it called?
Not lighter fluid. It leaves a ghost stain.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people.
Dryer. These down in the valley, their stuff usually comes off fairly well, but it's not coming off real well that time. So yeah. I got that 50 cents on Santo and Johnny, and so that I actually haven't listened to this one yet, but it looks like fun.
Well, you pulled out 2 winners so far.
Well, and this
Yes.
This is a hairstyle that's coming back, by the way. I recommend it, Michael, especially for you.
The bouffant.
Yeah, Wanda Jackson.
Yeah. She's been to the beauty parlor.
Yes.
You remember the beauty parlor?
Yes, I remember the beauty parlors. I'm not sure that's her hair, actually. I'm taking a wild guess there. The first woman of rockabilly, right? First lady of rockabilly. She was in the 50s. She was a big rockabilly star, and very tough voice and all. But here, she went more country, and this is later. I think this is like 75 or so.
Yeah, I don't know about her.
Yeah, she was big. Check out her 50s stuff.
No, I will. I mean, have you listened to that record? Is it any good?
I have not listened to this yet. No. Okay. Yeah, Susan's sure it's a wig. I'm sure it's a wig. I haven't listened to it yet. Let's jump ahead a little bit to Larkin Poe, Blood Harmony. This is from 2019, I think. No, 2022, excuse me. This is from last year. Blood Harmony, sisters, and try to remember which one plays lap. One of them plays lap steel, and I can't tell them apart in that photo. I think she's the lap steel player. Megan Lovell, just a fabulous lap steel player, and in the lap steel community, she's just she's a goddess right now. Very, very strong album. Very well recorded. Sounds great. And they have a backing. It's not just the two of them. Although they sometimes perform just the two of them. But really good. It's kind of bluesy country. It's really, I'd say, southern. It's really basically kind of southern rock. The good version of it.
Okay.
The Allman Brothers style of southern rock, not Leonard Skinner. Sorry.
We know how you love Leonard Skinner.
They write all
Leonard Skinner. The only bad thing about Leonard Skinner was that that crash didn't take them all out. So
come on, that's
so mean.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
I know. Sun House.
The velvet cover. I pay good money to shampoo every Monday.
Get it shampooed every Monday.
Actually, Dave has an amazing head of hair. If you ever see his videos, I mean, it's he's got a full head of hair.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started denting in it when I was 19. You got it. Sun House.
Sun House, one of the most important of the Delta blues guitarists, and later released by him with this was after his rediscovery. The sweater is awesome.
It's a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, but this has Death Letter and Empire State Blues, just two big ones. And Death Letter was one of his one of his later. He never had any hits, of course, but one of the one of the absolute greats among the Delta bluesmen. His early stuff, his early recordings are fundamental to blues history.
Did you
What's the
see
title?
their self-titled, right?
No,
What's
it
that?
looks like there's some type in the O
Oh,
of
there is.
house. What's it called? It's
Forever
called
on My Mind.
Forever in My Mind.
Okay.
Yeah, the first cut. Yeah, so this is there's just a great album. So
I'd like to pick that up if I find it.
yeah,
Wait, I'm sorry. It's actually pretty funny. I'm sorry, I ruined your timing.
yeah, that reminds me of something that Samuel Johnson, the great writer and critic, said about one person sent him a manuscript for review, and Johnson wrote back, "Your work is both good and original. Unfortunately, that which is good is not original, and that which is original is not good."
Good.
Oh yes. Anyway, Warren Zevon preludes, which are rare and unreleased stuff, and it's got like the demo for Werewolves of London and stuff like that. Ton of fun.
Never seen that. Is that brand new?
Yeah.
2021, a couple years old.
Oh, interesting.
But this I got for like $30, so it was not bad.
Oh, that ain't bad. Yeah.
Great insert on this.
A typewriter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. This is great. Some great photos and prepared by his son.
Taking me back to going to stationery stores and getting the typewriter ribbons and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. This anyway. This is great. This is great. Some of the sound quality, some of the recording quality is was rough, but yeah, I mean, this is demos and stuff like that, right? But it's still great to have. I mean, it's
Sure.
it's great to have. So yeah,
especially if you're a fan of it. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I'm down into kind of weird stuff now. I did a review of this one. I did an Uncle Dan on this one. Music,
Tops.
Yes, Tops.
I love Tops.
Yeah, music for listening. I paid a lot of money for that.
Oh, that's Al Sack.
Yes. That's the Al Sack. Somebody on my channel made a joke about Al Sack's name. I can't remember who it was. Made some joke. But yeah, music for listening, which I had to get this partly because of her expression, but the title was like music for listening. There's a new idea for you. Yeah. We never had music for listening before this,
A novel concept.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too? At the record store, the thing that I saw today that I actually never seen, apparently it was they had a copy of the first record ever made. The first LP ever made. I guess it was in 1948, and it was like some Mendelssohn record or something.
Yeah, I'll be darned. Cool.
Yeah, it was $75. I wasn't gonna swing it though.
Yeah.
The first 33 record ever made.
First LP ever made.
Yeah.
Not 45, not the first LP, long play record.
Not Edison wax cylinders.
No.
Yeah. Billy Vaughn.
Nice pipe.
Yeah. Billy Vaughn stuff. He was the A&R guy for Dot Records. And he actually got good performances out of his people. It's easy listening, but it's good performances. The stuff's kind of fun. So this I've been dropping on my old console stereo and listen to it. It's perfect for playing on the console stereo.
Let me see the songs. What's on there?
Sail Along Silvery Moon, Melody of Love, Moon Over Naples, Swingin' Safari, Theme from a Summer Place.
No.
That I know.
The Shifting Whispering Sands. That was his first hit, Whispering Sands. So yeah.
I know about 5 of them.
So it's all orchestra, right?
What's that?
All orchestra. It's
Yeah,
instrumental orchestra.
he's got some of the stuff has some vocals on it. Some of the things have some vocals on it. I
Okay.
don't think I tend to forget this one. I don't, they all kind of blend together. But I actually like Billy Vaughn. I have quite a few of those. I spent a whole $1 on this one.
Mm.
Patty
What are
Page.
those? What's that? Oh, they're records. Oh, that's a horrible cover. Look at that.
Yeah, it is. They're gold
It's like-
records.
They look like tacos or something.
Yeah, isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
And it's got Patty Page, who is a very lovely woman. Put Patty front and center.
Right.
Great voice. Well, the stuff tends to be a little cheesy, but she was great. And Tennessee Waltz was one of the first hits. And Bobby, you might be able to correct me on this. My memory is it's one of the first hits where there was multi-tracking of the vocal, and it was her.
First Patty Page. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Tennessee Waltz is multi-tracked. And it's her. She just doubles her voice, doubles her part. So, and I believe that Les Paul was involved.
Yeah, because Les Paul started doing that in the early 50s.
Yeah, but this was certainly the first hit with a double tracking. Tennessee Waltz was the first big hit with a multi-tracked voice, and it was her backing herself. So you get that, you get that. So yeah. Speaking of cheese, Stanley Black, The Night Was Made for Love. I mean, this is that's not a sticker on there.
If I'm being honest, if I saw that, I would have bought that. I would have bought that album. That cover is just, I love it.
Isn't that a great cover?
Yeah, it is. It gets me curious. I want to see what the album sounds like. I would buy that. Yeah,
it's cheesy, but it's also great. It's perfect on my console stereo.
They're on a cruise.
Yeah, and their respective spouses aren't aware where they are. So yeah, but I have another Stanley Black album that has the best cover on it. And I want to buy some more Stanley Black albums because I want to recreate that cover. It shows a console stereo. It shows a woman listening to a Stanley Black album on a console stereo. She's lying on the floor and she has a bunch of Stanley Black albums around her on the floor, and she's got a jar of jelly beans there.
I mean, you want to get like a model and set it up in your home with props and stuff and take a photograph of it?
Yes.
Well, it depends.
Who are you going to use as the model?
What?
Who are you going to use for the model? Oh.
Me.
But what if a woman is needed in the photo?
Come on. And then I have this one. This one shocked me. This is vintage filth. This is just vintage filth. This is dirty. The Flesh Merchants of Vinyl. Yes. Swinging Southern style. Look at this guy. Is he not a pimp?
Happy.
He's a happy pimp. But
wait, isn't that Gene Kelly? Sure looks like Gene Kelly a little bit.
That's Glenn Gray.
Looks like Gene Kelly.
It's Glenn Gray and the Casa Loma Orchestra. And the real story behind this is that the Casa Loma Orchestra was one of the first of the big bands, and they were kind of a thing because the Casa Loma Orchestra did not have a band leader initially. They basically shared the job, and everybody was paid equally, and they worked out their arrangements themselves. And they were one of the jumping big bands for a while, and then a bunch of people copied their style, and they sort of faded away. Then they asked Glenn Gray to come back. And be the to be the band leader. So this is swinging Southern style. Here he is, looking less pimpy, less like an antebellum pimp. But
he's got a string tie on. Come on, he looks good.
He is styling. God damn, I want to be. Let's be clear. I want to be him.
I would rock that.
If I could pull that off, I would definitely look. Well, look, I've got my bolo tie on. This is the man. I mean, that man. He's strutting the stuff, dude. Come on.
You look good in a white suit. You have a white suit?
No, I don't. I need one. I clearly need one.
You do.
But I need that hat. Look at that hat, man. That man is styling.
Mm-hmm.
So, you see that.
I think costumes and props are in your future.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think there though that I think he's a pimp, and I think these ladies are for sale.
I don't
Not with them
draw
dresses
that
on, man.
conclusion.
Well, I mean, not with dresses on, but I'm pretty sure those dresses come off.
Yeah, those dresses would take a lot of work.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm
I don't
thinking
know. It might not be-
cotillion
might
and
not take that
corsage and prom.
Yeah, it's got-
No, those are nice Southern ladies. That guy, he's too good for that.
No. They're because look, it's swinging.
Yeah, but it might be a high class joint. Then he might be a high class pimp, like one of those,
This is swinging.
Yeah, but swinging's not like swapping.
That's what swinging made in the '60s.
Michael, this is they're clearly these ladies are clearly yours for the choosing.
You might be right.
That's and that's why he's so happy. He's like, you remember those erectile dysfunction commercials with Smiling Bob, right? Do you remember? Did you ever see those?
Yeah, I saw those. Yeah,
you remember those? Look, there he is. I mean, there he is. He just didn't need any fake. He didn't need any fake enhancement stuff for that.
Nope.
So that's all I got, man.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's a big haul.
Yeah.
My haul's a lot smaller than that.
All right, let's see it.
That's what she said.
My haul is a record that somebody's been telling me about for weeks, for months. It's a record that I passed over in the bins for decades, absolute decades. Partly because probably the outfit that this fellow was wearing and his hair just didn't really do it for me. But I'll tell you, it's a very good record. It's really well recorded, and I did not know it was all covers. And the best songs on it are Mercury Blues and Your Old Lady. Those are the two standouts, because any song that talks about stealing another man's old lady has my interest. And I don't know. It's really got an LA sound to it. It's a lot like Tim Buckley, Welcome to LA, and of course Warren Zevon. And I picked this up for around $25 equivalent US, and it's in VG Plus condition.
$25? Is that a Japanese pressing? What is that?
That is a US pressing that I purchased in Japan, and it's a Allied is the pressing plant. Allied. They're around 4 or 5 because in the US the production was so huge in the 70s that they pressed out of like 4 different plants, and this is Allied.
Oh, okay.
On Discogs, it's not really fetching that much.
Yeah.
But I'm in Japan, so I mean, if it's going for 3,000 yen in a record store, I could pretty much recoup that if I ever wanted to sell it, which I don't, because the market's the market here, and it's a different market outside.
And
Japan.
also, that's about right too, because I mean, conditions is everything. You know what I mean? Because if you see that record, yeah, sure, it's a $4 or $5 record in the bargain bins if it's freaking VG minus.
Right.
If you want a perfect copy or a good player copy, you're gonna have to pay more.
This is
That's one of my favorite albums. One of my favorite cuts on there is, as I've mentioned to you, is "Ain't No Way," which starts off with a killer, just sustained B3, B3 note by Smitty Smith, who was his keyboards player.
Yeah,
and, Smitty played on a ton of stuff, Just as Lindley played on a ton of stuff, played on Linda Ronstadt, Warren Zevon, Dylan, but Jackson Browne, of course, he played a ton of Jackson Browne, but he just played on
Yeah, that stuff's out of my wheelhouse. I haven't,
and Lindley's first band was Kaleidoscope, and I've mentioned on a number of times on here that my old pal from my firm, my old firm, grew up next door to Lindley, and knew him personally, and knew Lindley personally. Knew his kids, and also went to school with Ben Harper. So my pal Charlie has known two of the most important lap steel musicians of the last 60 years.
Do you know Tim Buckley's Welcome to LA? Do you know that record?
I don't.
I really recommend it. It's rocking. He's got great backup singers, and it's fun. It's like this record. This is a fun record, right? I definitely put this in fun category.
His three records from that run, El RayoX, Win This Record, and Very Greasy, are ideal road records. If you've got a road trip, you put those on. Those will keep you pumped. Will keep you pumped. Yeah. They are great. They are great driving records, and they're great to listen to really loud. They sound really good. They sound really good. But yeah, Lindley was from the beginning. Lindley's story was, he started out. He was doing. I think he was playing. He kept winning. I believe. I can't remember his banjo or fiddle in a bluegrass contest, the annual bluegrass contest they were having there. And so they said, hell with you, boy, you're going to be one of the judges from now on. He was just great. And, Lindley played everything. And, he was one of the ones who started focusing on world music. With Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope was from the beginning, world music stuff.
Is that the only record that you got, or do you have more that you picked up? That was it.
That's it.
All right. You want me to go to show you what I grabbed?
I would.
All right. This is, well, I mean, see this. I have a lot of her stuff, but I just picked it up anyways.
Oh, yeah. Well,
nice.
Yeah, this is a great one. It's off a Decca label. It's got with the Jordanaires. It's got I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, Poor Man's Roses, True Love. I also, this one's a classic. You got to have this one.
Who's that band? Yeah.
Yeah. It's got Computer Love on this one.
I remember that.
It's a dope record. And, okay, I love this stuff, but why, Sound of Music.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Poppins. And this guy, I don't know if you guys are hip to him. You ever hear of the band back in the 90s called Tony?
Yeah, I remember them.
Okay, this is the lead singer, Raphael Saadiq. Do you know who he is?
You're going to tell me.
Okay, but anyways, he's the lead singer of Tony. This was one of his records that he put out in 2008. Now, his goal for this record, he was really into a lot of the old, recording, the way a lot of the old records from the 60s and 50s sounded. So he wanted to get that sound, so he recorded it a lot with analog tape. He wanted it to sound like a Motown record, and he's got Stevie Wonders on this record, Joss Stone. There's a lot of good artists.
Joss Stone.
Yeah.
Joss Stone. I don't have any Joss Stone on vinyl, and I need to get some.
Yeah, I do too. But I just picked this one up because, it looks like it. I know this record, but it was a record store day release, so I just said, why the hell not? And I used my points, so I got this record for $15. So
it's a reissue.
Well, it was in 2008. it was released on CD, so it wasn't like, you know.
Yeah. It was never released on vinyl before. Okay.
No, but now it is now.
Anybody know what's happening with Joss Stone these days? I mean, my God, what a voice!
Yeah.
I didn't know her, and I was living in Seattle, and I won. I won on one of the local KEXP. I won.
Nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's
I
classic.
mean, he's old school. I mean, like he likes a lot of see, it's a nice red vinyl thing. I'm trying to understand, like a lot of some of his solo albums have that like 60, 70 like Motown sound, but like he even sounds like Al Green in a lot of his. You ever hear a song Thinking of You?
Yeah.
That sounds like it was freaking written by and sung by Al Green. I mean, if you play that, you'll think it's freaking Al Green, but it's not. I mean, he's like paying an homage to a lot of those guys, and this album is basically him saying he doesn't try to change it and make it modern like with hip hop or anything. His putting out this album is him basically saying, "Hey, it's good the way it is. That type of music is good the way it is. Keep it that way." You know, this is worth checking out.
You a fan of Leon Bridges?
Love him. Love him.
Do you know the James Hunter band out of Britain, Great Britain? I can't remember whether he's from Great Britain or whether he's from England or Ireland. I think he's out of Britain. Do you know him?
Really? No.
I was in a Barnes and Noble, I don't know, 15 years or so ago, and I heard this music on, and I was like, "Who the heck is that?" I was like, it ain't Al Green, it's not Sam Cooke, it's not Wilson Pickett. And that guitar, I was thinking, man, that guitar is just killer.
Is that new, Bobby?
Yeah, I just picked that one up too, but I have so many copies of that record.
Yeah.
You know how like records you put up that have different dead wax on it? So yeah, this one is it's a greatest hits. I mean, I have so many copies of it. This one is our original RCA, so I grabbed that one because it was for $9 and it was in mint shape. So, you know,
how much was The Sound of Music?
The Sound of Music, it was a 50-cent record, man.
Okay, all right. But it's in excellent condition, right?
Yeah, it's in excellent condition, and I remember those freaking Sound of Music is classic. How many times has it been done as a jazz standard? Same with Mary Poppins. It's got freaking Dick Van Dyke on it, man.
Right.
Come on, you know. I love that stuff.
I take that concludes your new acquisitions, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make it small.
Cool. And I'm rocking the Celtics hat. If you've been paying attention, they forced a game 7. Jake, did you see the highlights or no?
It wasn't top of the news here. No.
Jason Tatum is the star for the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
He freaking shot like 0 for freaking 10 and 3 quarters of basketball. And in the fourth quarter, he just came back from the freaking dead and started lightening up. He hit 5 threes, I think, in the last 3 minutes. It was ridiculous. And they won. It was amazing. They didn't choke like the Bruins choked. The greatest regular season record ever out of a hockey team, and they blow out in the first round. That's sports for you.
I thought of another topic.
What?
And that is, that's this one. Artists that I love, but ones they're not known for, right? Well, records I love. Records I love by artists that they're not known for. And I want to do this real quick.
Okay.
Because I've been thinking about this for a while. And a record that does not get a lot of love. Why is this? Can't. Hold on. There we go. Who's playing with that? How come I can't make myself big? Dan, can you make me big? Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I can do it. So records that don't get. This is the only Led Zeppelin record that I now own. Okay, I mean I've had them. I've had other Led Zeppelin records in the past, But this is kind of like a raw, bluesy record. And it's become my favorite Led Zeppelin record.
I have that one.
Partly because of the great cover, right? Where
Yeah.
it spins, you know. But really mostly because what great artwork that is that it's almost all heavy blues.
Can you tell me the songs on that so I don't have to run over to my Zeppelin section?
Absolutely. Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You, Out on the Tiles, Gallows Pole, which is a traditional song, Tangerine, That's the Way, Brony or Stump, and Hats Off to Roy Harper, which is another blues song.
Yeah.
Great record.
Yeah, my dad didn't allow Led Zeppelin records in my house.
Why?
He hated because he freaking hated Led Zeppelin. He used to say, "Oh, all they are is a cover band."
Thank you, Marius.
No, he thought Hendrix was better, which I agree. Hendrix is better, but still, you can listen to other people, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
my other one is this Tusk.
That is the I think I have that, but I've never listened to it.
Do you know that they spent $1 million producing this record? $1 million. This was in the 70s.
Is it any good?
It's incredibly well recorded. He recorded. This is Lindsey Buckingham's project. So he took stuff home. He recorded in his bathroom. You know, he remixed tracks in his bathroom to get certain effects.
Acoustics, yeah, I know.
And what I love about this record is that because he spent $1 million producing it, he killed the bonuses of every record executive of that label that year. He tanked their winter bonus.
Well, I'm not complaining.
That's why I like it. That's why I like it. I mean, I have one other Bear Trees, but yeah, from the first song over and over, it's very light and it really gets my ears.
Sometimes the less popular albums of a group end up being the best. And when you go into read the reviews of the record, and some people are like, "Oh, this is not their best album," and you totally disagree with it. You know.
In the case of this.
Yeah, I forgot to bring in. I would have used Dylan's Nashville Skyline.
Nashville Skyline. Yeah, but that doesn't Nashville Skyline have what Lady Lay on it?
Lady Lay, but yeah, but you know, he kind of, you know, I got in a little argument with a guy named Harry Hugh, Hew, on Twitter, and Hugh is a Dylan scholar. And he was saying that Dylan doesn't do vulnerable sort of heartbroken songs. And I was like, Boots of Spanish Leather, I threw it all away on that, and he just dismissed Nashville Skyline. He said Nashville Skyline was, he said, even Dylan came to hate Nashville Skyline. He said it was just a character he was taking on. And I was tired of arguing with him at that point. I was like, that's what Dylan did. Dylan took on characters. I mean,
that's right. He's one of the greatest songwriters of freaking
but I mean,
generation.
It's a character. It's like, it's all. But he just didn't want to, I was like, what about, standing in the doorway or, so many songs off Blood on the Tracks. And he's like, oh, those, he explained them all away. And I was like, well, by the time you get done explaining them all away, it looks like, that's kind of like special,
Well, that's just one of those people that when you show him the evidence, even if you were to show him video evidence of everything, he'd be one of those people that say, no, the video's photoshopped, it's fake, it's a conspiracy. Yeah.
He got pretty upset with me because I was like, Marius, are you asking this question, Marius? Are you asking about Gurumul? I have not heard his music. The book looks so interesting. And the photo of the guy on the front of the book was so interesting. I was like, I want to look this guy up, but I haven't had a chance to look him up yet. This is this Gurumul. guy. This was my
Huh.
question. I don't know him, but he's apparently kind of big in Australia, and is a rock, kind of a rock musician. So I'm, anyway, Bobby, you're or no, Marius is Aruj Aftab. I want to find these guys. One time in the 80s, I was over at a friend's house, and we'd get together and I'd play guitar and he'd play harmonica. We'd play, very nasty, blues and E for, jam blues and E for hours on end, right? But I was over at his house and he was playing an album of religious music from Africa, Christian music from Africa. And it had some of the most amazingly beautiful vocals on it. I couldn't understand them, but it was just otherworldly. And so I've been wanting to find that ever since then. And I lost track of him. I asked him one time years later, and he was like, I can't remember. But he used to consume copious quantities of marijuana.
Nice.
So a lot of his memories, I think, got kind of fried. So great guy, good, really great guy. I'd like to find him, get in contact with him again, but he's got a common name, and so it's hard to find.
Yeah, it's tough.
Here's my next one. Soundtrack to Friends. Do you know this? Remember when this came out? Friends? Elton John song?
I have seen that. I've known people that have listened to it and used to play. I had friends that used to play it, but I've never owned that record.
It's worth owning.
Yeah?
Worth owning. Yeah. It's just it's a lot of orchestra stuff. There's probably 3 songs or 4 songs that Elton John sings on. Everything else he composed with Bernie Taupin. But the song "Friends," I never saw the movie. It's a French movie. It got horrible reviews. But it's as good as your song. Like some of his famous early songs.
Yeah.
That's Friends.
Elton John's great.
Mm-hmm. And my last one is Larry Coryell. This record, and it's got a song on it. Kicks off with a song called "Foreplay," and it's very electric, and it kind of predates Mahavishnu Orchestra, if I could describe it that way.
Yeah.
Larry Coryell, Steve Marcus, Mike Mandel, who was a session man for many years, and it was recorded in New York. It's a Vanguard record. I was lucky enough to get it on this type of label, and it's in VG Plus condition. And it's one. I only have a few Larry Coryell records. This one's my favorite. So it's probably not a record that he's well known for, but it fits my example.
Outstanding.
Thank you. I seem to have lost all of my banners to the right, and I can't really control what people's comments. It's really weird. Dan, you've been manipulating it. You cut off all my privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to teach me how to do that stuff so I can just.
Well, unfortunately, I'm only able to give one admin.
Oh, administrator.
Yeah. So Dan will be taping things in word and using words that And so we're approaching the 1 hour mark. We're at 54 minutes.
Oh wait, we got any questions? Do we have any free spirits for sale? I don't know. Anyone ever see free spirits for sale? No, that seems counterintuitive. If there were free spirits, they'd be free. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah.
How's things in Las Vegas? How's the weather? It's super hot.
Yeah, it's like 90 something here today, but it's getting used to it.
Yeah.
Finally got my pool freaking in order.
Good.
I had to freaking, I don't know how many things of shock I had to put through that thing. How many times I had to change the filter out because I had an algae bloom. Because in Vegas during the spring, it gets ridiculously windy. Ridiculously, like it'll blow stuff from all over the place, and you're constantly having to clean your pool.
Right.
Yeah. So I finally got it.
Tumbleweeds.
Hey,
Ridiculous.
hey, Bobby, when are we going to have the pool party at your place?
Oh, whenever.
Will your Wi-Fi reach out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've made a video with me freaking cleaning my pool once, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think I did a long time ago.
Bobby, the pool boy.
Well, maybe. Well, hopefully the Celtics win tomorrow. And tomorrow's Mother's Day, so I guess we can wish everybody a happy Mother's Day out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, happy.
All the mothers of the world.
I'm going to wish all you mothers a happy Mother's Day. All you mothers got a happy Mother's Day. Yeah, you mothers, you mothers.
Hey, did you guys see that new movie that they put on Amazon Prime? I don't know if you guys have it. It's basically about the Nike shoe, how Air Jordan, how they signed Michael Jordan back in 1984. You haven't heard about that? Ben Affleck and
I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
it
Ben
was,
Affleck
they got together with the shoe designer, right? That's part of the
Phil
trailer.
Knight. Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight, and
right.
Phil Knight has been in a lot of other movies too. I mean, I think there's a movie about how he started Nike where he was making like waffle cones that looked like his sneakers. He was making sneakers like with a waffle iron or something before.
Yeah, because of what was Prefontaine's name? Susan probably would know.
Steve
Prefontaine, the great track guy out of University of Oregon. Steve Prefontaine, and Phil Knight was making shoes for Steve Prefontaine.
And the university, right? Wasn't he like a track coach or something?
Yeah, he was a track coach at the university. He made a ton of money. And the law school now at the University of Oregon, which is my JD alma mater, was Phil Knight donated a ton of money, and they built a new law school for a new facility for the law school, the William Knight School of Law. You don't call it the Knight School of Law because it sounds like night school, but yeah, ton of money there. So yeah, they had the Prefontaine, and it's right across from the field. The new law school is right across from the field. But yeah, Steve Prefontaine's still a huge name down there.
Oh, he was incredible, ridiculously fast. He was, oh man, he was one of those. He was a classic, man. Like today, they'd probably call him toxic freaking masculinity or some bullshit like that. But I mean, he was a man's man, Steve Prefontaine. Like even his style of running, like how he didn't like how some people have strategies and shit. He was just Steve Prefontaine was just balls to the wall, everything I freaking got until I die. That's just how he ran.
Yeah, he was hardcore and just blew over a lot of people. But those shoes have Phil Knight was developing those shoes for Prefontaine. And you can see that field, by the way, if you watch Animal House.
So he was making them with a waffle iron, though, right?
Yeah, that's the story.
Wow.
Yeah, he was making those shoes with a waffle. The original shoes were being made with a waffle iron. But yeah, you go to Eugene and you go down and you start talking with folks in Eugene about Steve Prefontaine. Still a huge name out there.
That guy's aces in my book.
Died quite young, but he was just a huge star. And,
yeah, I've read books on him. I've seen movies on that guy.
He's like the Pistol Pete Maravich of track and field from that era.
Yeah, I know. I ran a little track when I was in high school too. So I mean, like I loved him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just a huge. Yeah, but yeah, you can see the field
what is it? I guess
when I moved to Oregon in 1987, And do you remember the scene in Animal House where Otter goes to the goes to the motel and gets beat up?
Yeah.
That is the Rainbow Motel. I don't know if it's still there, but it was the Rainbow Motel in Cottage Grove, Oregon, where the climactic scene was the scene with the parade. The parade scene was filmed in downtown Cottage Grove, Oregon. But anyway, that hotel, I stayed in that hotel when I first moved out there. I stayed there for a few days because I moved out there in '87 to attend. I was going to attend grad school, PhD program at the University of Oregon, and moved to Cottage Grove because my then wife was a teacher there.
Is Nike's headquarters still there?
Nike's headquarters? I think Nike's headquarters, they were in Portland for a long time. I don't know where they're headquartered now.
No, but I know they were in Oregon, right, for a while.
Yeah, I think Susan might know. Susan might know whether Nike is still headquartered outside of, just outside of Portland is although if you live in one of the Portland burbs, don't tell anybody who lives in one of the Portland burbs that they live in Portland.
So she's saying no. Does that mean that's not there anymore, or she doesn't know where it is?
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, but
a mystery.
They may have moved. I mean, we could find it in a moment.
Yeah.
Eugene is a great town. That's why I want to move. I want to move back there. It's great weather and Beaverton. Nike is in Beaverton.
Okay, so it's still there. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest employers in Oregon, of course.
Have any of you guys ever owned a pair of Air Jordans?
No.
Nope, me neither. Too expensive.
No, I don't know how much they cost. How much are they?
Well, when I was a kid, they were about $140 for Air Jordans. So that was a long time ago. Now they're like $300 a pair.
New.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Some are $350.
I bought more expensive cowboy boots.
Yeah. It's sad. A lot of the stuff is coming back too. A lot of the sneakerheads are bringing back the old school. Remember the Reebok pumps?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're bringing those back. Those are like $250 shoes too. And it's like, it's ridiculous because back in the day, the Reebok pumps were like $80 or something like that. And the Nikes were like $120 to $140. So they were cheaper. Now they're all the same. All the, sneakers are around the same, especially the big ones.
Crater Lake is one of the magical places in the world. It is one of the most beautiful places you can go.
The Heelys are back.
Heely shoes are back. Wow, I didn't know that. Crater Lake is just amazing. It is just one of the great places in the world. Yeah, and you ought to go there. It is just like otherworldly. So.
Yeah, well, maybe when are you planning on moving?
Well, I want to get going, but I've been having this heart issue. I've getting all these premature ventricular contractions, and Wednesday it just really took me down. I ended up at the ER, and last couple of days, I've got a heart monitor on now, and I'm gonna try to see if they can get me set up because I've just been, it's like I can't get anything done.
So, do you have a history of that?
I've been having, I guess, I know that I was having them a few years ago, about 5 years ago, and I just kind of forgot about it. And then my watch was telling me my heart rate was getting down below 40 beats a minute. And Wednesday, I couldn't get anything done this week. And Wednesday, then it came 3 times, and I went in, and it wasn't actually getting below 40 beats a minute, but the premature ventricular contractions, it doesn't count them because they're out of rhythm. And so it was like I was getting under 40. But my heart's not beating right, and so my energy is like.
So how do they correct that?
Well, apparently beta blockers can work. I wish they'd put me on them because I'm like, it's been like I'm like, I gotta get my energy back. I got work to do in addition to trying to get this house ready for sale.
Yeah,
I've gotten some work done on the house, and got a quote to have the floors redone and downstairs. And
they're not going to have to like restart your heart or anything, right?
no, I don't think that.
No, because sometimes they do that to people's hearts that are out of rhythm. They have to restart their hearts or something. Wow.
That's about Crater Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's but yeah, Crater Lake is just an amazing place. And then there are so many beautiful places around there. I mean, Diamond Lake, Diamond Peak, Diamond Lake around there, just gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful country, and not as it's been a long time since I've been there, but not as overrun as California. So you can find beautiful places. Well, we're in an hour, so
We are.
and we're kind of running out of gas. So
Yep.
so
Thank you. We get our song.
Next week, guys.
You up for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Good.
okay, we'll say as always, mes enfants.
Take us out, Dan.
As always, mes enfants, nous disons à vous. Au revoir, et aussi. À bientôt.